As the world is evolving more rapidly than any education system, the challenge of learning is at the forefront for all teachers. In today's fast-paced world, what are the most important skills to teach our children in schools? During my time at MindLab, I can see the discussions around 21st century learning are extensive and complex. A need to see a change in our current education system is a relevant, ongoing and necessary conversation occurring at all levels throughout our country. In week 2, I was introduced to the innovative teaching and learning research results of 21st century skills which are important for students to develop. We looked at the 6 rubrics of 21st century learning, each of which represented important skills for students. While reflecting on these, I began to critique my current practice of creating learning that is purposeful and engaging. How do I actually teach and develop 21st century skills that I deem imperative for today's learners? My plan will highlight how I will address the development of real-world problem-solving skills and innovation through a digital and collaborative innovation and by using the ITL rubrics to assist in designing the learning. As a teacher, it is my job to engage my learners in a world that makes sense to them, not a world prescribed by a one-size-fits-all approach. We are very lucky in New Zealand with a future-focused open curriculum. However, I am often still finding subject areas getting in the way of this, and all too often these subject areas are still driving the learning in my class. As an educator, I need to ensure I am giving my students a personalised educational experience to equip them with the knowledge, skills and values they need to thrive in our modern society. While looking at Burt Biester's domains of purpose, the importance of gaining knowledge, skills and dispositions were highlighted to me. No longer are we in the industrial age with a one-size-fits-all approach. We must equip our students with the skills, values and knowledge they need to thrive in our modern society. The skills of real-world problem-solving and innovation are fundamental for our growing leaders to formulate solutions. As technology advances at such a rapid rate, companies will need employees that can invent new technologies and new ways to use it. What is innovation and what is problem solving? I set about to get some student voice.
Innovation is thinking outside the box, to where there are no boundaries to what you could do. It's something different that has an impact.
To solve a problem which helps someone who faces a challenge, we need to understand the person who faces a challenge and empathise with them using different strategies.
I have always seen my role as a teacher to facilitate learning and provide opportunities for my students. My Year 7 and 8 students are part of the first wave of digital natives, and they actually have ICT skills and knowledge of technologies far more advanced than myself. As quoted by Palfrey and Gasser, digital natives will move markets and transform industries, education and global politics. I need to ensure that I am providing learning experiences using technologies to develop and build creative, innovative minds that can adapt to face future unpredictable challenges in our ever-evolving world. In September this year, after our school's 3D printer sat unused for 2 terms, some of my students convinced me that we should move it to our back room and put it to use. As always, prepared to provide opportunities, even though not even knowing what a 3D printer was, I set about to clean my back room for this piece of technology to arrive. After carefully reading through the instruction manual, we set up the printer and ran through some test prints. Working collaboratively with our ICT lead teacher, we decided to hold an e-hour after school to provide our staff, including myself, some professional development in 3D design and printing. 2 of my students were set the challenge to create a Google slide presentation called 3D Printing for Dummies. The teachers who attended the session, including myself, were blown away by what the boys taught us, and we all really enjoyed this hands-on learning session. I know I provided an opportunity for these 2 students, but what skills was I actually teaching them? Have I been developing or teaching these students any 21st century skills? In hindsight, these 2 boys had actually come to school to teach teachers. As stated by Zhao, Pugh, Sheldon and Byers, one of the most important ingredients to the successful integration of innovative uses of technologies in schools is the teacher. This got me thinking about a piece of technology being really only as good as the person behind it driving the learning experience. My next step was to take a trip to Taupaki School to visit the technology department. I was lucky to observe a lesson with some Year 7 students on 3D design. In this lesson, I learned alongside the students about the design process, some new technology vocab, and some more skills that would assist me in the delivery of my lessons on 3D modelling. While developing my plan, I have referred to the ITL rubrics for real-world problem solving and innovation. These rubrics are new to me, having been introduced to them at MindLab in week 2. Using these, I'm able to check that the learning is relevant and that it offers opportunities to develop the specific skills I am wanting to teach. My plan begins with my Year 7 students through our inquiry topic. Through our context of sharing our planet this term, my students have been learning about the Syrian refugee crisis. After learning about the harrowing journey refugees have to go through to reach safety and discovering that 50% of refugees are children, a group of students in my class have been working on their big question, how can I make a difference? These students are working on developing a 3D modelling competition for the rest of the senior school. The learning task is to design a toy that can be 3D printed and sent to children in a refugee camp in Europe. The students are working on flyers to promote their competition, developing a judging criteria, and running workshops at lunchtime to teach students who wish to enter their competition the basic skills on Tinkercad. I believe this is real innovation, as this is creating a change that will make an impact. With my Year 8 students, I am developing and teaching problem-solving skills and innovation through our careers rotation on a Tuesday by using an online tool called CityX Project. As quoted in CityX Project, in a world dominated by exponential change, the next generation must be equipped with the tools to adapt, empathize, collaborate, and innovate. The CityX Project workshop meets this need by helping youth learn the value of empathy, creative thinking, and problem solving in the context of a society whose citizens face real-world challenges. The workshop will help bring the change-maker mindset to my students, using the same process and tools as some of the world's foremost thinkers and inventors. The design process that this project uses is a 6-step method which has been adapted from the design thinking process of Stanford's D School. This design process will teach my students to understand a challenge and the people it affects. They will generate solutions and develop a product that solves the problem. The issues faced by the citizens of CityX are representative of real-world social issues that we face here on Earth. I will ensure time is given to reflect, not just on the current lesson, but reflect on previous lessons and taught skills. This reflection process enables students to think critically and evaluate in order to create innovative solutions.